Boom. What's up? What's up? Here we are. Another Moto Monday. Live. Let's see who's up in here. So what's going down, boys? How's the week been? How's everything been? We got BDP. That reminds me of the old rap group. You remember BDP, Boogie Down Productions? Is that what it's from? BDP Racing, Boogie Down Production Racing's up in here. I'm glad you made it, brother, since I keep missing it. Finally caught time to watch it. But thanks for being here, brother. We got Big Brian, Anthony P. V-Dubski's back in the house. Yeah, we got good V-Dub up here. We haven't seen Big Dub in a minute. Welcome back, brother. Eric D is up in here. Big Faisst. Liam, what up? What up? Hey, well, I'm super excited. Everybody is up in here. Sounds like Mel's creeping. I just heard somebody coming up the steps. I got Jason. What up? What up? What up? Well, cool, man. Glad everybody is up in here. I've got a couple announcements. Well, let's see, man. We had a good class actually yesterday, man. We had a class on. We pushed it to Sunday. If everybody knows from the Midwest out here, if anybody's just been following up, keeping up with us, we had tons and tons of rain. Class was supposed to be on Saturday, but we pushed it a day. And to be honest with you, man, it turned out to be a really good day. A little windy, but it didn't really affect us. Still were able to get through everything we wanted to get through. Eric was out there with us. He's up in here. Eric was out there shooting photos. But overall, great day, great group of riders. And we had fun. And to be honest with you, I think I keep thinking about my favorite part. The track, the guy who was prepping the track for us came out and cut in. He just tilled up the circle track, and it was like the best dirt that you could have possibly wanted for the day. It was super sticky, and we formed some really good lines in the circle track. So I don't know. Anytime I get the chance to ride sticky, tacky dirt, I'm just super excited, and that's how that circle track was. So that was one of the funnest parts, other than teaching and working with the riders. I'm just saying, as far as like track conditions, the circle track won the conditions of the day. The main track was it was, like I said, kind of a little bit windy, and we just left all the ruts. We didn't prep nothing. I told him to. I said, just leave it. I don't want it groomed. I want it rough. I want it ruddy. I want it like race conditions. So it was basically the ruts left over from the last time they had practice, and they were hard as a rock. So that's why the circle track, the fresh ruts of the day, ended up being the better ruts for the day. But still, we still had a good time, and I was still able to work on some really good sections of the track. So that was awesome. And let me just, since we're talking about moto classes, let's just pop this up here, right here. Next one's going to be April 17th here in the Midwest. And looking to be at maybe Grain Valley or possibly even the private track at Hillsdale. Going to be in touch with the track owner and see if we can work that out. But so the track is tentative, and that's always depending on weather and what's available. But shooting for April 17th. I know I originally was telling you guys the following week after it, but this year I decided to kind of look at the local tracks when they're scheduling races and then try to schedule around those guys, just so if anybody's wanting to hit those races, that I'm not on top of another race weekend. So I believe that following weekend, I think Kingsville's having a race. So that's why I'm like, you know what? As far as I saw, no one had anything going on this weekend. So that's why I pushed it up a week to try to keep the guys who want to be able to hit all those local races. Make sure you guys, if you want to come to class, get some training, you can still have it that next weekend open to go hit some racing. If that's what you want to do. Another quick announcement. We are finally ready to launch Mark Collective. I think it's going to come out this week. We were trying to get it done today. I was working on the website all day today, and I was like, man, I want to get it done. So maybe I can be like, yo, it's open. Go hit it. But unfortunately, we still got to get some extra photos and stuff. So going to try to link up with actually Eric this week and finalize some photos and then finish off the website. So if it's not done by Wednesday evening, I'm shooting to have it up by Thursday. Definitely before the weekend, but here, we'll throw up a little shot. So we got a little shot of Mel. Let's blow this up because Mel's looking really good right here. Look at her. Look at her. She's so pretty. So this is one of our new hoodies. On our hoodies, we jumped up. Like I said, we took it in-house. So if people haven't been following us and don't know what Mark Collective is, Mark Collective is me and Mel's Christian clothing line. We use this to help support our ministry. And it just like RFMX, we had someone else running it for us, and then we brought RFMX in-house, and now we bring in Marked in-house. So all these hoodies are the same hoodies we use for RFMX, all heavyweight hoodies, legit. And then we got all new hats. We got a bunch of new stuff coming out. So all that stuff will be on the website by the end of the week. So if you guys want to check it out, it is markcollective.com. So we're excited about that because it's fun controlling your brand, and we're going to have full control of it. And we're excited. So that's coming up. And last thing, hey, big announcement. Big shout out to the wife. Maybe we should leave her up here. Let's keep her up here while we're talking about her. Mel's been wanting to do a podcast for a long time, and she's trying to get me to do it a bunch of times, and I'm like, man, we're so busy. We got so many other things. I'm like, we need to just focus on what we got. And she was like, I really want to do it. I really want to do it. And then she finally just leave me in the dust. She's like, I'm doing it without you. So she's got her own podcast coming out, and it actually, so basically she had to get this thing approved by like the Apple Podcast and all that stuff, and she thought it was going to take like 2 weeks to get approved, and it got approved within like 2 days. So it's already live. No one knows about it. She hasn't even done a post about it. I'm the first one telling anyone about it. It's called Morning with Mel. It's live right now. She's going to do a post and kind of let all of our following know on our ministry side and all her pages. And I'll do a post about it tomorrow as well, that it's up and going. But if you guys are into it, it's basically like a devotional. So she's doing it 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And it's like if you ever ran a devotional, what they do is take a little piece of scripture and talk about it for, just a little nugget. Talk about it for 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And she's doing it Monday through Friday. So every single day she'll pick a verse and then teach through it. Mel's an amazing Bible teacher. She's a great speaker, a great Bible teacher, and this is why she's doing it, because this is what she's gifted at and what she loves to do. So check it out. It's not, I know it's my wife, but it's not like, hey, it's just for the girls. It's for men and women. But hey, tell your wife, tell your girlfriends, go follow it yourself. Go check it out. If you want to find all the information, I do believe she put all the links, all this stuff. All the links are in the video for Mark Collective, for my classes, and for Mornings with Mel. But I believe if you just went to ronnieandmel.com, that's our website. There's already a link I believe she has. And go, if you guys are into it and you like it, go check it out. Subscribe to it. Show Mel some love. Leave her a comment. Her birthday's coming up at the end of the month, so it'll be a good birthday gift for Mel, just to have all you guys show some love and show some support. So we're excited. Good job, Melly Mel. Because I know you've been wanting to do that for a long time. Oops, I'm trying to get these pictures down, and I keep clicking on the wrong stuff. All right, well, cool. Let's jump into a little bit of moto stuff. So that's the announcements to this week. And let's talk a little Supercross. We had we had 2 races. We had 1 week, 2 races. And my man is a little behind right now, but hey, I'm not giving up hope. I'm pulling for the 94. Hopefully he can come through in the next couple races. He was right there, man, this past week, and he was looking good, but you know how Cooper is. Cooper's like strong late in the race, and Cooper creeped up on him. And, did Cooper? Man, I get the races mixed up now. I almost feel like they get Mella in here. Roxon was leading that whole race, and Cooper got him, huh? Dang. He creeps on him, dude, right? Because it was the week before the Cooper pulled the whole shot. Yeah, the week before Cooper pulled the whole shot and led the whole race. This week, he got him. So, unfortunately, hey, but Roxon still held it down, stayed on the podium. That's what's important. I don't think there's 5 races left. Anything can happen. Cooper's going to be hard to beat, but I'm still pulling for the 94 to take it home. And shout out to even the champ. The champ held it down. Barsha was giving it to him. He came up and told me, you saw him punt him in the corner. But he held it down and stayed on the podium. So fun races to watch, fun series. And even a 250 class. 250 class has been sick. Just sick to watch. A lot of up-and-comers in that class. Bad crash was Smith, right? Just blew his shoulder apart. You guys seen that. So unfortunately for him, he's probably out for the year. But let's dive in, man. I've seen a lot of, I'm over here looking. If you see me up here glancing, Mel got me the new set. I was talking about it last week. I got a big screen up here, so I got to look off to check out your comments. But let's see what you're doing. If you're new in here, man, we do this every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We hang out. We talk moto. and try to give some good advice, try to answer some questions, and give some feedback on what I've learned for the years of just being in the moto industry, and hopefully help you guys. But like I said, if you're new, first time, and you want to throw up a question and get your question answered, I'll give you a little example. See how Anthony P? And we fixed this for you guys this week, so you can see the questions. But see how he throws up the question marks? That's how I can find your questions in the comments. But I usually scroll to the top, so let me make sure. I think Anthony P is the first one of the night. So let's start with him. He says, do four-strokes have what? Some type of cylinder. I can't even say that word. That's with nickel or two-strokes? Man, I don't even know. I think that nickel-plated stuff might be. I think they might do that. I don't know, to be honest with you, dude. When it comes to modifications, motor stuff, I'm not fully up on it. Because to be honest with you, I rode all stock bikes my whole career. I think the only time I had mod bikes when I was like going down to Loretta's racing in the mod class. But my whole entire freestyle career, I had stock bikes the whole time, motor-wise. And even all my 450s were stock. So I don't got a good answer. I think the nickel plate, is that what you're asking about? I think that's more of a two-stroke thing, but like I said, I could be completely wrong because I'm not up on all the specs on how they do it. But I know when I had two-strokes, we would send them out and they would port and polish them, and that's what I'm feeling. I feel like that nickel-plated stuff might be a two-stroke thing. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. But on my four-stroke, I'm going to say we did modify one four-stroke, but all we did was put a cam on it. When I went and raced in Winter X Games for the snowcross, we wanted to get a little bit more power, so we put a cam on one of my 450s, and that's all we ever did, and that made a huge difference. My bikes are usually, dude, even when I was two-stroke, I put a pipe on it, and I would jet it, and that was enough, and my bike ripped. And then same thing, because, and you know what, I get it, like freestyle, it's not about having a fast bike. You just need a good, clean bike that's responsive. Pop, pop, pop. That's why I pipe and the right jetting, plenty for freestyles. It's about doing tricks. It's not your motor's not going to win the contest, you know? And then when I went to 450, like, dude, 450 is so fast, you don't need to do nothing to that thing but I'm sure these dudes in the 450 class got all the specs, but that's a whole different level when you're racing on that level. For most of us, dude, racing at local races and racing speed and style at X Games, a stock 450 was more than enough. The only reason, just a pipe, just put a pipe on it, you're good to go. Only reason we did the cam for Winter X Games is because of the altitude. We're so high in altitude, there's no air up there, so the bike's just so underpowered. I mean, to be honest with you, the dudes who were killing it up there did have motor work. They had cams, motor work, but because you need it. You really do need it because it's the altitude's killing your stuff. So that makes a difference. Racing, it makes a difference. But for freestyle guys and for local racers, dude, I really say, like, at the end of the day, like, if you're not a top dude at the local races, you can get away with riding a stock bike, jet it right, pipe on it right. You know, you can even race with stock suspension or just send it to your local guy and get a good setting. You don't need to spend crazy money and like, the stock bikes are good. Just get a few good aftermarket parts and dial in your bike, save your money, and just have fun on it. Like, the bikes are good. Like I don't use everything my 450 got. I wish I could, but that bike is fast. And even on a 250F, you know? So anyway, all right. Let's find. Did I pull that question now? I can't see the screen in front of me because the camera's in front of me, so I'm rubbernecking around to make sure I don't leave that up. But I see that. That's why I say that sometimes, because sometimes I'll see some dudes' bikes are just mint. They got, like, dude, you'd think they're going to the Nationals, and they're just local dudes. Hey, I get it. You want your bike to look good? I get it. And if you got the money, go ahead and spend it. But I'm just saying, dude, if you're on a budget, dude, like, you can get away with a stock bike just tuned up. It's, you know, plenty for you. All right. Let's see. I'm looking for some questions. Because I feel like I've heard that so many times, that little mini dad thinking, I got to get my kid a faster bike. Not really. Like, dude, your kid could probably just practice some technique and work on his race development, and he'll probably do a lot better than you just buying a bike and him staying at the level he's at. If you spent the money on coaching, you'd probably do better than spending the money on just souping up the bike, because the kid's probably not using all the bike that he has right now. Just needs to work on some technique, develop some better race skills, and he'll probably do better. I feel like Dads are always like that, thinking they got to get the faster bike for the kid. Spend the money on, and I don't just say that, come on, coach. Go find a coach's bike. I'm just being honest with you. Coaching is a better investment than modifying the motor for an intermediate mini rider who's just kind of in the amateur ranks. Like, I'm telling you, coaching's, I would look back on my career as one of the best things my dad did for me was send me to motocross school. And he'll tell you, I rode like a goon, did everything wrong. And then if you put photos next to each other from the time I went, before I went to Gary Bailey's motocross school, and then the first year, second year afterwards, and it was completely night and day from the form and how I rode. Dude, I used to ride elbows in, hips in. I did everything wrong. My dad didn't ride and didn't tell me what to do. I just got on the bike and did everything wrong like most people. And then everything developed, changed. In motocross school, it changed my whole career. So I think that's a better investment for dads and people getting into the sport rather than spend money on the bike. Tune up your stock bike and go spend money on coaching. It'll help you. You'll be way smoother and safer and better in the long run. All right, so let's see here. We got a little V-Dub here. V-Dub ski. Let's get V-Dub up here. He says, can we mix in order from RFMX and Mark Collective? Actually, you can't because it's two separate Shopify. So we have Shopify. We have two different stores. So basically, we have a store for RFMX and we have a store for Mark. So if you put in a Mark's order, I'll get them. Like, you could order them, but you would have to go to two different sites. But I would get them the same day and could pack them the same. I'm the order guy. I'm packing the order. So if you want to get one from Bo, just order them the same day and I'll ship them. I could put them in the same bag and ship them together if that's what you mean. I could do that. But as far as websites, you'd have to go to two different websites to make two different orders. But it's all good. We'll get you your stuff, brother. All right, so I like trying to read some of the comments to you. Yeah, let's give Mel a little shout out, Jesse. Giving Mel a little shout out. We're proud of her doing her thing. BDP. Thought you were gonna say Tomac. Still hope. Nah, I think Tomac's out. BDP. I think he's too far. I think it's between Roxton and I believe what's the point spread now? 14, 16-ish, somewhere in there. Oh look, Mel already answered the question. She's one step ahead of me. Why? Oh, here she is. Oh no. Mel's up in here. Come.
Throw a comment up here real quick.
Who? All right, we'll get you up here. We got Mel here. V-Dub.
Well, why are some smaller? Like, put Moto Warrior. Just put Bam Bam up there.
All right, let's get Bam Bam up here.
Look how small it is.
Oh, that's weird.
I know.
I don't know why that is.
Let me do. Hi, everyone.
Mel's really picky. See how she's picky about this? I didn't even notice this.
I'm so picky.
Perfectionist here. She got to come in here and, oh, that's way too big. Why are you going that big?
I don't know.
All right.
Wait, and then let's see what happens with a big one. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah,
okay.
See, tone it down. She's coming in here messing up the program. Just go back to bed. Get up out of here.
I'm not in bed. I'm just trying to
see that?
I'm a perfectionist. I'm sorry.
I know, she's too picky. Yo, Moto War, is this the home? Is this our boys from yesterday, Moto Warriors? I think that might be our boy from yesterday. Cody, is that Cody?
Hey.
Maybe. My one buddy, I think he has a YouTube channel called Moto Warriors, maybe. Well, what up, my brother? Good job yesterday. Oh, we got Adam here with the little super chat. He said, what up? Prayers for V-Dub. Yeah, we're keeping V-Dubs in prayer and his mom in prayer. She's been sick for a while. But, hey, good to see V-Dub back. And thanks, Adams, for the super chat. We'll pump V-Dub's back. And, hey, V-Dub might be taking the 18. He's been hitting me up talking about it. And I wasn't going to sell it. I was going to keep it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep the 18, maybe turn it into a freestyle bike. And then V-Dub was like, you going to sell that bike? And I'm like, you know what? I'll sell the V-Dub ski. So the 2018 might be V-Dub's. You might be swooping it up. But either way, I'll get another bike and build it into a freestyle bike once we get a setup. I ain't got nowhere. Well, I don't say I ain't got nowhere. I just don't have my own freestyle setup. All right, let's get Eric D up here. And, hey, good to see Adam back too, brother. You and V-Dub were hiding out for a little while. Welcome back. Eric Davis says, what's your favorite spot to eat at out in California when you're with the boys? Favorite spot to eat in Cali? Man, that's a good question, brother. Huh. I feel like me and Taka always go to sushi. Twitch always wants to go to sushi too, huh? I feel like every time, the last 2 times I've been there, I went to sushi with both of them. I'm going to say sushi. Every time I'm out there, those dudes always want sushi. And Taka likes this place called Sapporo, and then Twitch likes this other spot called, not Katana. What's it called? I can't even think of it right now. Anyway, it's good though. It's right off the 79 in Temecula, California. Man, how's it making me mad? I can't think about it. It's a chain too. They got one in Marietta too. Mel probably knows because I used to take her there when we lived there. All right, so let's get Fred Kitchen up in the spot. Hey, why didn't that pop up? Oh, there we go. He says, have you had a chance to throw that new bike around yet? And no, the only reason I rode my old bike this past weekend at the class, and the only reason I didn't bring out the new one is I ordered plastic for it, and it didn't come in yet. So once the new plastic gets in, I'm pulling off all the Rockstar plastic, and I'm just going to save it. And when I go to sell it and put it all back on, the bike's going to look brand new. So I didn't want to ride in that plastic. So I'm going to get my plastic, put that on, and then put my kit on, put my new seat cover on. Once I got it all dialed in, I'm going to hit it. So not yet. Man, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. The pictures of your class look like your old... Yeah, exactly. I was. All right, see, I answered that question first. I was on my own bike. Milking it over here, bro. So pretty much probably, if my class is during this week, I'm planning on going to Adrenaline. I believe they have an open practice this Saturday. I think it's Saturday, and they have a race on Sunday. I'm planning on being out there on Saturday riding, so I'm planning on bringing the new bike out this weekend, breaking it out, as long as the plastic comes in, which it should be. I ordered it a week ago, so it should be in by now. We got to give Donnell's a call here and see what the holdup is. All right. All right, so V-Dub, I've seen, I saw a little question mark at the end. It says, currently, yeah, he's looking for one of those just pin it banners. I don't know if we're going to do it. I was going to try to do a new banner, but if I do redo the just pin it banner, I'm definitely going to put one aside for V-Dubsky. But if not, we might have a new banner coming out this summer. We're working on new t-shirt designs at the moment. So once the t-shirt designs come out, if we have a good t-shirt that everybody's feeling, we might put one of the new designs on a banner. So we'll keep you guys posted on how that's going. But we're in the process, so hopefully get out some t-shirts for the warm weather. Working on it. All right, let's get Pug. Let's get the PUBG Killer. Any advice on breaking in the new 450? My first new bike. Hey, congrats on the new bike. All right, so this is how I was taught as a kid. I was always taught, and this went to 2 strokes, 4 strokes. I was always taught, hey, start it up and just let it idle in the garage for a little bit and just let it warm up. Do that the first time, and then they say take it out slow, cruise it, ride a couple laps, like mellow pace, cool it down, come in a little bit harder, cool it down, and then go out. I was always taught that's how I was taught to break in bikes. But I'm gonna be honest with you, these days I might warm my 450 up and then I'll go out and not kill it, but I don't take as much time to break it in as I used to when I feel like it must have been a big Feisst thing. He must have been like the 2 strokes. You got to break him in slow. But on my 4 strokes, to be honest with you, and I'm not saying maybe it's good to take it slow. I'm just being honest with you how I've done it lately. My last couple new bikes, I've warmed it up on the stand a little bit, and then I went out and practiced, and I rode it like at 60%, just cruised it, 4 or 5 laps and brought it in, cooled it down. Then I went out the next lap and rode it, 75, and, that's how I did it. So, but here's the deal. This is what you want to do. Every time you bring it in, check the spokes all the way through. Check front and rear all the way through. Give them a nice little turn, and go over the bolts. Because it's a brand new bike. You should check all that before you go out there. Check your tire pressure, check your new bikes, check all your clickers. Make sure that your forks, compression and rebound, make sure that each fork, top and bottom's on the same thing. And I always say start in the middle. So, crank it in. She wanted to come. You hear her scratching? Crank it in. See what. Sometimes they're off. See where you're at, and then crank them all the way. So clockwise is always stiff. It's hard. Counterclockwise is always soft, which is going to make the bike react a little bit faster. And then see what your range is, and then put them in the middle. I mean, for me, I like my bikes a little bit stiffer, so I might start my bike like right off the bat, since I've been riding for a long time, I get a brand new bike, like this bike I'm about to ride, I might put 12-12 on the forks, 12-12 on the shock, meaning I'm going to go 12, so go all the way in, as stiff as the bike goes, and then I'm going to back it out 12 times. So, and then same thing on the rebound. So 12 and 12, top and bottom. And I'll probably start it there and go ride, but most likely by the end of the day, I'll probably have it cranked all the way stiff because it's a stock bike and I like a stiffer setup. So most likely, but I'll start it there just to kind of feel that bike out, to see if the new suspension's any stiffer than the 18 I've been riding, because my 18's cranked all the way in. But check over all the bolts, check your tire pressure, check your fluids, check your and then set the sag. I set the sag normally before I even ride. Check the sag, and then it's always good once you break it in to check the sag again to see if it changed at all. But I usually set all that stuff up before I even go ride my bike. And then, like I said, go out, cruise it a little bit, warm it up on the stand, just let it idle for one time, and then maybe kill it, and then let it cool down again, and maybe warm it up again, let it idle, and then maybe just hop, 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 hop. Just crank it a little bit, and then take it out and cruise it. But then once you start riding it, bring it in, and then go. Spokes are usually the things that loosen up the fastest on new bikes. And if you don't stay up on them, your wheels will get out of whack. So make sure you go through and one by one, crank those, keep the spokes tight, and then check all the other bolts too. Make sure nothing's coming loose on it since the first time you rode it. But that's really it. That's how I break in my bikes. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Let's get BDP back up here. Boogie Down Productions. How did you deal with the weight of those 450s? I mean, to be honest with you, like when I went from the 252 stroke to the 450, honestly, I didn't actually switch to a 450 until I decided to race speed and style. So my whole freestyle career, when I was only focusing on freestyle, I rode a 2-stroke. But as soon as I decided, like, hey, I'm gonna do speed and style now, which is half freestyle, half racing, I decided to go to the 450 because I wanted to have an advantage. Because I knew 450 faster, it's short race, it's all about the start. I'm saying, hey, these dudes gonna be on 250s, 2-strokes. I'm gonna get a 450 and hopefully get the start. So the weight was a little bit of a concern for me because I came from the 2-stroke, and I'm like, hey, is this going to be hard to flip? Is it going to be harder to do tricks on because it's heavier? But to come to find out, everything was easier on the 450. And I was like, man, I should have switched a long time ago when I was on the 2, got off that 2-stroke. One, it was easier to jump all the jumps because the thing just tracks has twice as much motor, so that made everything easier. But actually, think about a heavier bike. I'm talking about freestyle stuff. A heavier bike in freestyle is actually more stable. It's just like a bicycle. If guys do BMX tricks, most of the dudes have heavier bikes that do, or the heavier bikes are easier. Because think about it, the light bike floats around, the heavy bike stays stable. It's the same thing in freestyle. So once I got on the heavier bike and I start taking my hands off and moving around the bike, I was like, whoa, I'm like, dude, this thing doesn't move at all. It was so much more stable than my 252 stroke. So that was a bonus. And then to flip it actually flipped easier. And I think the reason it flipped easier is I think it had so much torque. Once you left the lip, it had so much rot. It wanted to just send it into a flip faster. But once the gyro of the flip started with that extra weight and that extra torque trying to flicking it into a flip faster, it flipped easier. All of us who flipped our 450s first time all over-rotated. Not to the point that we fell off the back, but we all came in, front end high, and we were like, whoa, you don't have to pull nearly as hard as you did on the 2-stroke. You could, be a lot more relaxed and pull a lot less on the 4-stroke. So for me, it was a bonus going from 252 stroke to the 4-stroke. So the weight didn't mess with me. I was actually, and like I said, I thought it would, but it worked in my advantage. I liked it. And then and I raced speed and style, and we always had I always had a motorbike and a freestyle bike all through my moto career. I always rode the track and stuff. So even out on the track, it didn't affect me at all. I don't feel like I felt like I honestly, when I switched to 4-strokes, I felt like it was like the best thing I ever did, even for the track. I was like, man, this thing's so easy to ride. Like, I was like, I wish I would have grew up racing 4-strokes, because to me, the 4-strokes, it's just easier. Like, you don't have to keep it up in the R. You don't have to work as hard, especially on a 450. It has so much torque, so much lug. Dude, it pulls third gear everywhere. Just, whoa, it's just easy to get traction, easy to jump stuff. So I loved it, and that's probably why I always feel like I'll be 4-stroke guy. It's the old man bike. Cruise around, jump everything. I love it. So, yeah, the weight didn't mess with me too much. All right. So, I don't want to miss anybody's stuff. I'm seeing some question marks with Kyle Black here, but I don't know what this question means. So, question A. So, if I missed it earlier, just pop it back up so I can get you back in the mix. Oh, V-Dub with a super chat love here. Been a while since I've been able to make it on here with everything going on. Looking forward to the new Husky. Yes, my brother. Hey, I want to get that biked out in for you and put some new graphics on and stuff so it looks nice and pretty so V-Dub can be shining. All right, we're going to have to link up. V-Dub's from Texas, so might have to make a little Kansas trip. Come up here, or maybe I'll meet you in the middle or something, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work, brother. Hey, thanks for the super chat, and welcome back, V-Dub, and pray for your mother, my homie. All right, so here's Moto Warriors again. Roxton or Barsha, which one is a better rider? I mean, dude, both of those dudes dude, they're both top guys. I would go with Roxton because I feel like Roxton probably has a more consistent finishes than Barsha in the past. I think Roxton probably does. If you were just trying to look at race for race, resume, he probably does have a better resume. But, dude, they're both top dudes in the 450 class. So I don't want to – I ain't taking anything away from Barsha. I think he's sick. But I think Roxton's probably a smoother rider. I would definitely go – and I think he's more consistent, in my opinion. He's probably more consistent. But I think Barsha's having the best year of his career maybe this year, and I think that's awesome, man. So congrats to Barsha out there just holding it down with the new team and just way more consistency that I think we've seen in the past. You know, he comes out strong, wins the opener, and then he kind of fades back. And he ain't faded back this year. He's been there all year. And he was putting the heat on Tomac last weekend, ran him up the berm hard. So, and I know those dudes got a little rival, you know. So, hey, I think they're both amazing riders, but I think maybe Roxon has a little edge on them. That's all. All right, David Duke. He says, hey, big bro, God bless you and your family. First and foremost, question is... Oh, wait. Let me get that one now. I think this question right here. If you and Twitch had a meet at the track right now, race for 5-lap moto, who would win? Come on, dude. You know Twitch, smoking all that weed, eating all those Doritos, ain't beating me. I might be out of shape, but I ain't that out of shape. No, hey, me and Twitch are really close in speed, to be honest with you. We always been. Me and Twitch always been close in speed. Deegan's always been like a hair faster than both of us. Sometimes I feel like I like hanging with Deegan good some days, and other days I feel like he's pulling me. But me and Twitch, it's probably a good battle. Let's be honest with you. Have you seen our speed and style race at X Games? That was a close one. I believe I whole shotted him, and then he ended up sliding out, and then I stalled it in the whoops, and he passed me. It was a fun race. But me and Twitch have always been super close in speed. So it would be a good race. But I think I've been training a little bit harder in Twitch lately, so I think I might get him on the stamina. But, hey, I was just out there, and he was riding good. I'm not going to take another. Twitch always rides good. Twitch is one of those natural dudes. He doesn't even need to ride that much. He's just good. Can sit around and hang out all week and go out there and still look cool. He's like Hanson. But hey, wouldn't it be funny if they did like a freestyle class? Like for all the old dudes, like me, Twitch, Renner, Deegan. Like, who else could we get in that class? Who's old school? Dude, like get Mad Mike Jones out there. Get Tommy Clowes out there. Get Metzger out there. Get all the original freestyle dudes and put it in a class. Like Day in the Dirt should have a freestyle class. And it should be only dudes who are like professional freestylers, regardless if you had a race background or not. But most of those OG dudes had race background. All of us came from racing, and we jumped boat. So that would be fun. It'd be cool to go up against all the dudes. Clifford, the flying. Yo, I'm back. Did you guys lose me for a second? I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Hopefully I'm back. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. All right, let's go. All right, I'm seeing thumbs up. Hey, I'm glad I'm back. I don't know what happened. Shut down on me. And that shouldn't happen. We got a whole new setup. Man, Colin, this is weak. All right, we're back, though. Let's get Kyle Black Crow up in here. He says, is a two-stroke dirt bike hard to maintain with the mixing of gas and having to check it after every couple rides? Or is a four-stroke more better? Got any advice on some tips? I mean, I don't think, honestly, I think a lot of people would think that a two-stroke's almost easier to maintain. I think they're easier to work on, to be honest with you. Like the changing the top end and stuff is much easier on a two-stroke. So I wouldn't say they're harder to maintain. Yeah, you got to mix the gas, but dude, it's basic, you know? You got to mix the gas. It's no big deal. I wouldn't think they're harder to maintain. I never, like, to me, like, dude, if you just do your basic maintenance, obviously you got to mix the gas, but no big deal. Dude, keep up on changing the air filter, keep on changing the oil. You know, you get some hours on it, and it's time to do the top end. Do the whole top end. Don't cut the corners and do the ring. Change the piston and the ring. Put new gaskets on it. Just stay up on your maintenance. Like, I feel like you probably would have to rebuild a two-stroke more than you would have to rebuild your four-stroke, probably sooner. But still, like, you could do it yourself. Like I can't do no. I could do a top end on a two-stroke, but I don't know how to do a top end on a four-stroke with all the valves and everything. I would have to have someone do that for me. So that's one thing. The two-stroke's probably easier, things you can do yourself, save a little money, not have to pay someone to do that work for you. But at the same time, I feel like the four-stroke, obviously you got to do maintenance on all of them. It's easier, pump gas and run pump gas in it. And I feel like you can go a little bit longer before you would have to replace the valves, put a new top in it, adjust the valves and all that. I don't really put a whole lot of hours on my bike to begin with before I end up selling them. But, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's probably, some people probably think four-strokes are easier to maintain. Some people might think two-strokes are. But for me, I didn't have a problem with either or. I feel like both of my bikes are pretty easy to do the basics, you know? That's what's matter. It's just like a car, dude. You keep up on the basics with it, you shouldn't have any problems with that thing. But the one thing that's cool about the four-strokes is you don't have to jet them. The fuel inject it. So I do like that because you just get them and they put the pipe on them and they rip. Two-stroke, you got to fine-tune it with the jetting, which you kind of have to know what you're doing to get it jetted right. So that can be a little tricky, but it's not super complex if you figure it out. You know what I mean? Bigger jet, more gas, less jet, or smaller jet, less gas. You know, air screw, you know, crank it in, it's going to close it off, open it up, it's going to get more air if you open it up, crank it in, it's going to close it off, less air, you know, leaner, richer. So once you learn the basics, you know, you can raise the needle, clip, pick the needle up, pick it down. I feel like you can figure out how to jet it. If you know someone that's got an idea and they can help kind of give you the basics, you can go out and figure, like, we used to jet our own bikes for a while. And then even when my mechanic, Tony, did my two-strokes, like, it wasn't nothing crazy. Most of the time we usually had but this will be honest with you, this is what we normally did. We had to lean out the main jet. We had to basically lean out everything. When you get a bike usually from the shop, it's usually rich. It's so we had to lean it out. We leaned out the main jet. We leaned out the pilot. And I believe we would drop the needle down. So we were raising the clip, which I believe is leaner too. I could be off on that one because it's been a long time. So double check on that. But I know we changed the clip position, and I'm feeling like we've raised the clip, dropping the needle down. And then we would fine-tune it with the air screw, whether leaning it out or riching up. Most of the time, just cleaning it up. But you want that thing to bark. You should be able to let it almost go to a stall and go, and it should go, whoop. It shouldn't go, boo. If it bogs, you got to get the bog out. You want that thing to crack. When you got it like that, it's jetted right. And it shouldn't ever go. It should just So it's fun. And actually, two-strokes sound sick when you get them jetted right. But it's not like rocket scientists. You get the basics. Somebody that can kind of coach you through it. You get good at it and get your bike dialed in. But it is kind of nice just having a four-stroke. You don't have to do that anymore. All right, so we get David Dude up here. Could you guys come out with a toddler merch line for RFMX and Marked? maybe just like a limited time deal so I can put my kiddos in the merch. Dude, I know. I actually, it's definitely, I think it would be smart for sure on the moto side, 100%, because to be honest with you, I teach kids all the time and I don't have youth sizes, you know, so it probably would be smart to get some youth sizes to, just for everyone, you know, not just the fans out there, but, you know, guys are teaching. And so, yeah, probably should, good idea, dude. Probably should do that for sure. Because I noticed that mom will be like, hey, what size you got? I'm like, men's large, XL. She's like, She's like, I'll take the hat. I'm like, all right. And that was like for real. That happened this weekend. Give me the beanie. Everything was XL and large, adult. All right, so I'm just scrolling here looking for some comments. Sometimes fun. Oh, yeah. Sorry, this must have been when I cut out. People were cracking up. Don't let that happen again, Feist. I don't know what happened, dude. I have a question. Let's get Rockstar back up here. Rockstar. He says, I have a question. How can you make the suspension or the ride itself on a 250 two-stroke feel as secure, planted, as smooth as the new four-stroke? Is that what you mean by 4T? 250 two-stroke. Okay. So how can you make the suspension on a 252 stroke feel as secure and planted as smooth as the four? I mean, it really just comes down, like, you should be able to get any bike working right. It really comes down to, I mean, if you're just going off stock settings and you're just trying to dial it in, it's really personal preference. What I always like to do is say, hey, start in the middle, ride it, do 2-3 laps in the middle, then go all the way in on everything so you can feel the difference. Go stiffen it up. Compression and rebound, go ride it. Now you're like, okay, you're gonna be able to tell a big difference. Then go the other way, go all the way soft, and then ride it. Now you'll feel a difference. Now go back to the middle, and then kind of go, okay, did I like it on a little bit stiffer side? Did I like it a little bit on the softer side? And then kind of fine tune it to there. So that's about as much as you can do. If you set the sag and work your clickers, and if you got air forks, you kind of mess with the how much air pressure you have. That's about as much as you can do on a stock setup. But if you're going to send it out, you can obviously get way closer and have a way more stable bike just by getting with a good suspension company and telling them, this is my weight, this is my riding ability, and let them revalve it. And depending on your weight and your size and your ability, they might have to change the springs, but maybe not. If you're around my size, you could probably ride with stock springs for outdoor setting. And then they'll probably send it to you with a setting. And I would recommend just start there, ride their setting, see how it feels, and then maybe do the same thing. Maybe go mainly 5, go 5 one way, and then maybe 5 the other way, and then just kind of feel it. Okay, did I like it a little bit on the stiffer side or a little bit on the slower side? But get a notepad and write these things down. Here's my setting. I'm 12, 13, wherever, and then keep track of them. And then if you go to a track and you make a change, write down, this is a track, this is a date, this is what we changed. Because sometimes, I've learned this in the past, sometimes you can try to get your suspension dialed in, you'll start turning things all the time, all these different ways, and you just start going in circles, and sometimes it's your head, you're overthinking stuff, and you think your bike just sucks. It's not even your bike, it's you're just getting all frustrated, and you just got to go back to just start over. That's why it's good to have the man. Where do we start? And go right back to where they gave you the original setting, go back to that, and then ride it, and then see. Because sometimes, I've been through it, sometimes you just having bad days and you think it's the bike and you keep turning clickers and then you just think your bike sucks, and it's not always the bike. But anyway, so I think you can get a stable, smooth setting on a 2-stroke just like you can on a 4-stroke. I think it's just a matter of getting your bike set up the way you like it, you know? Personal preference when it comes to suspension. Some people like softer settings. Some people like stiffer settings. And what type of riding are you doing? Like an outdoor setting is going to be softer than a supercross setting or arena cross setting. Obviously, freestyle setting is going to be even harder. And then if you're going to ride trails, you're probably a little bit even softer than a standard outdoor motocross setting. I rode, I can't even think of his name now. Gosh, I can't remember the name. Anyway, I rode a dude's bike who rides the enduro cross, and this thing was so soft, like I was surprised how soft it was, so soft. But that's what works good for the stuff they ride. They like the soft stuff. Makes sense. They got to get traction over rocks and stuff. Don't want it all stiff, He's sliding out everywhere. All right, let's get Anthony P up here. All right, wait, what's this? We got weed? He says, in my area, I get lugged by weed, by dirt bikes in the woods. All right, what is the most motocross-friendly state outside California? Okay, so I would think, so this is how I feel like. I feel like there is some moto hubs outside. I feel like California is the motocross hub of the U.S. Everybody knows that, Southern California. But I think Florida is another hub. I think that's the East Coast hub. I think it's Florida and the Carolinas. South, is it North or South? One of the Carolinas, where Josh Hill, where's that track? That good track Josh Hill rides at all the time. You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of the name. Anyway, it's not MX Park. Anyway, I think that's a smaller hub. Reed lived out there. I think it's the JDR racing teams out there. But anyway, I think Florida would be the East Coast hub. I think Southern California is the West Coast hub. And I think for the Midwest, I would honestly probably say Texas is probably. So it seems like those southern states where it's warm. Moto guys like the warm stuff. But I feel like a lot of guys live in Florida because they get the train in that hot humidity. And it's sandy down in Florida. I've been in Florida. It gets really rough. So it's a great place to train. Hot, like super humid and super rough. So if you're going to race outdoors, that's a good place to be to get training in. So I would say they're probably the three. I feel like Oklahoma's as good in the Midwest as well. I think they got a little edge on us here in Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma. Probably with the warmer weather, and I think they got a little bit more tracks and stuff than we got. But I'd say Cali's the big one. Florida's probably the next big one. All right. Wait, did I? Oh. All right, let's get Kyle Black up here. Why did Travis Pastrana switch to KTM? Did something happen to Suzuki? Did they stop making two strokes or something? To be honest with you, I don't really know the answer to that, why he would have switched. My first thought is I probably got a deal, dude, to be honest with you. Like someone like Travis is probably getting paid and getting free bikes, you know? He has such a big following and such a big name. He probably got a deal. So I would probably think that. They probably were like, yo, there's a contract right here. You want to support us? He was probably like, yes. Thank you. You know, that's what would be my first thought, but I'm not 100% sure. And did Suzuki stop making two strokes? That's a good question. I feel like they might have, huh? Because I don't remember seeing any updated 252 strokes anywhere around. So maybe, but I don't think that's the reason why he switched. If he did, like. Yeah, someone's saying Anthony, he's Pastrana's on KTM now. Yeah, I would think probably they're probably hooking him up. And KTM's really cool. They're really close with Husqvarna, right across the street there in Southern California, and they do a lot. They do a lot for people. So I could see that being Colton's bike. There we go. Mel knows what I'm talking about. She reading my mind. Stinks are riding. Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. Hey, I'm grateful for where I'm at in the Midwest. You know, we got some. It's not bad where I'm at. We got four public tracks. We got some private tracks. It's not bad. I know. I've been to states that don't have nothing. So it's not bad here. What up, Thomas Kimberly? My man's up in the spot. Josh Hill is in Oregon, no. Unless he recently moved. He was in the Carolinas, but he could have recently moved. I'm not 100% sure about that. Tommy Shea, my man. But I know he was in the Carolinas. MX, what is that track, dude? Mel, do you know the name of the track? MX, JGR Suzuki team. What's the name of the track? I was reading her comment. I follow him on Instagram too. I just can't think of the name. All right. Lost my spot. All right, let's get Big Nate up here. Did you ever find out recommended top end rebuilds hours for 450s. How many hours before you fresh them up? That's a good question. You know what we're going to do? Watch this. We're going to send a text. We got 10 minutes. Let's see how fast Tony is. Tony's my old mechanic. Tony would know. How many hours before? Let's get it. And in 450. So the only reason I'm doing this right now while we're live is because I remember you asked me this before. Someone else did. And I said, yeah, I'm going to find that out. And I forgot. So I'm going to text him right now because hopefully in the next 9 minutes, Tony Boy gets back to us and lets us know because he knows the answer to that question. But I would think you could run a 450. Like, I'm just guessing, but I probably could be way off. I would think, like, I don't know, like, does 80 hours sound good? 80? I would think you could go at least 80 hours, right? I could be off, though. I don't know. See what Tony Boy has to say. He could be sleeping. He's on the West Coast. He should be. All right, so Mel's, here we go. Mel's asking, should she be a guest on Moto Monday some week? What do you guys think? Club MX. All right, let me know what you guys think about Mel. Should we bring her on? She jumps on here. Club MX. Thank you, Fred. That is exactly it. Club MX. That track is sick. And anyway, I don't even remember why we were talking about it. It had to do with Josh Hill. But it's sweet. That's a good track. Oh, we're talking about the hubs. Yeah, that's a good hub because, dude, Hill was there. Reed was there. Who else was there? Florida still got him beat, though. All right, so we got Yo Feist, 2013 Yamaha YZ450F is leaking from the weep hole. Looks like coolant mixed with water. Do you think the seals are done? Man, you guys got all tough questions tonight, dude. I'm going to have to step up my mechanic game. Because I'm like, yeah, sometimes I feel like my bike leaks a little bit of water out of there sometimes too. That's why I'm not 100% sure if that's just like it just gets hot and squirts a little water out, or is that like a sign of something? Might have to send Tony another question. See, that's my deal. That's what's great about having people who know way more about bikes than you do. You just text them. Like anytime's their issue. Tony Boy, what's this mean, dude? Because I'm not 100% sure. I feel like sometimes when my bike heats up, I know for a fact if my 450 is idling, like say if I just leave my bike on and let it idle and it'll get too hot, it'll just naturally start to push water out. But you're saying it's water mixed, or looks like coolant mixed with water. Yeah, I mean that's fine because our coolant, a lot of times the coolant in your bike a lot of times is mixed with water. So that I won't worry about too much with that. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't want to say nothing's wrong, but I feel like that might be kind of common sometimes. Get a little spritz out of there, especially when they get hot. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Who knows that verse? God's grace, God's freedom. This was my last race number when I was a professional, and I raced the 317. That was my number. When I raced, you know how I got that number? Let me just tell you. I got stories behind all my numbers. I went to Loretta's 3 times. So there's the 3. The last year that I rode there, I got 17th in the 250B class. So, or was it 125B? Feist? It might have been 125B, but it was the B class because I went down there 80s schoolboy B. It was 125B. I don't think I rode 250B that year. So that was my last. It wasn't my best finish. I had a better finish than the 17th at Loretta's before, but that was my last finish. So then I decided when I went pro, I was going to take the 3 years that I was at the Amateur Nationals and the last finish I had my last year competing there. So 317 is how I came out with that. A lot of people probably thought I was a Bible verse. I wasn't a Christian back then. Anyway, story behind the numbers. I always got cool stories. It's always a reason behind numbers, right? I like numbers. I've always been a numbers guy. I like crunching the numbers, doing the books. All right, so let's get David Duke up here. All right, we got 5 minutes. Says, so nowadays they got, what is this? And other gateway bike. Is that the electric bike? What was your first bike? And do you think I should buy my kiddos a P-dub or something to start off? My oldest is 8 years old. My first bike was a 1986 XR80. I missed 50s, missed 60s. I started late. And then I only was on that for maybe about a year. And then I jumped up to a 1989 CR80. And then we started racing. But I was 8 years old. So I was same age. So I think, that's not definitely not too young, to get them started. So it's up to you. You know what I mean? If you want to get your kid into moto, then I feel like that's a decision every parent has to make. Because me and Mel talked about it. Like, hey, we had kids. Do we want to get them into moto? Because we know, like, dude, I'm a moto guy. Like, yeah, I love riding. Like, I probably wouldn't not let my kid ride dirt bikes. But dude, let's be honest, it's dangerous. It's super expensive. It's something you got to think about. It's not like you just buy him a baseball glove and take him out to the field, Moto is a whole different deal. So, but, we all love it. I definitely would probably. All right, hey. Yeah, it froze up. Dude, it's tripping on me. Keeps losing. Big Fight said pay the cable bill. I don't know why it's doing that, man. We stepped up our game thinking we beat this issue. We've had this issue in the past, and I don't know why it's doing it. So, hey, my apologies. I hope I got everybody's question. We're winding down to the end. I saw a little super chat here, so let's get this up. Anthony P., thank you, sir. Much love for the super chat. Thanks for coming here week after week. And I hope I got everybody's question for the most part. Oh, Jess Hunt here. Hey, a little shout out to Jess. I know you bought some marked merch last week, and then Mel had mentioned to me you sent an email and wanted it signed. But here's the deal. We don't have it. We didn't have the stuff that you ordered. That was still coming from the company that was running it. When we launch this week, we will have all of our I'll pack your order. So now I'm able to sign stuff. So I owe you one, dude, for sure. So I just wanted you to know I didn't not sign it because I didn't have the ability to sign it because I didn't ship your order. It didn't come from me. But anything from this week forward, once we do the relaunch, all the orders will come directly from me and Mel, and I can sign anything that anybody wants. Just let us know. We'll hook you guys up. But hey, shout out for support, brother. And yeah, thanks to everybody for being here. Mel got the verse up here. Let's get the verse of the day. And it is, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Some verses say there is freedom. All right, freedom in the Lord. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for hanging. Good times, always, always, always. I'm just kind of scrolling just to see if there's any last-minute questions that popped up. I know. So Adam's saying, where's the Just Pennant banner? All right, we might have to get him back in the mix. Adam wants one. B. Dubsky wants one. So, hey, maybe we'll do a little run to bring him back. If not, we might have a new one coming. Either way, we got new stuff coming this summer. Or I would say this spring. We should have a new tease in before the summer. So, hey, thanks again, dude. I'm watching all you guys pop up here. Keep it real, Ronnie, Adam. Hey, thank you all guys for hanging out, man. I know there's probably a lot of other fun things to do on Monday nights, but you guys kick it with me every Monday. So, yo, much love to the Moto Monday family. We'll be back here next week. And, hey, just a quick little reminder, Mel's birthday is coming up here at the end of the month. And do a little birthday shout out. Show us some love. And go follow that podcast if you guys are feeling it. If not, share it with some friends. If you got other people that might need some encouragement and need some devotional stuff in their life, send them the link. Let them check it out and see if they like it. So that's it. We'll see you guys next week. And thanks again. Much love. Peace.